Okay, let's get started. Good morning, all. Thanks for your time and joining for this demo. Uh, my name is Ravi Kumar, and about my experience, I have 13 years of experience in IT industry, where I do consulting, implementing, and administration of Microsoft and VMware products. So in cloud services, I take care of Azure Active Directory administration, Azure administration, migration, Office 365 implementation, as well as Exchange and Google migration. And virtualization, I take care of VMware and Hyper-V, and also I do take care of Microsoft services. So this is a quick introduction. So today we are going to have the demo about Azure Administration AZ-104. So first we'll understand like what all the topics we are going to cover in this entire training and how this training runs. And again, wherein we will see like a brief introduction about the cloud and the Azure portal. Okay. All right. If any audio issues, please let me know. And if you have any questions, any doubts, anytime you can stop and you can ask. All right. So in this entire training, wherein we'll be covering for 30 or 30 plus hours, and we'll be covering on AZ-104, which is Azure Administration. And overall, we'll be covering the 15 modules. Okay. So in first module, wherein we'll understand like what is Microsoft Azure, what is benefits of cloud computing and types of cloud computing, and what are the different types of cloud models, right? And what are the ways you manage your Azure infrastructure. In module 2, wherein we'll be understanding about Azure subscription, like what is Azure subscription, how to create the subscription, how do you manage, and how do you deploy the resource group, and how do you control that, and what all the other things you do with the resource group, we'll be understanding on the module. And module 3, wherein we'll be understanding about the Azure virtual in module 3, wherein hey, sorry guys, yeah, okay, I'm taking the call on the airport. Please don't mind. Hope I'm audible, right? Okay. In module 3, wherein we'll understand about the uh, compute, right? Like what is Azure Virtual Machine, how we are going to create and manage the Azure Virtual. Mark, can you go on mute? So there is some background noise. So in module 3, wherein we'll be understanding like what is virtual machine, how we are going to deploy Azure, and also we'll be understanding about the ARM templates. So how to create and how do we manage the ARM templates. And in module 4, we'll be understanding about the Azure calculator, right? So whenever you want to deploy any services, you want to understand what is that cost, right? So with the help of Azure calculator, where you can estimate the services or whatever the services which you want to deploy, right? We'll be knowing the estimation cost. In module 5, we'll be covering the storage, right? So what is Azure storage and what are the types of storage service and how do you manage the storage service, right? So we'll look into it. And module 7 will be covering on the network, right? So creating virtual network in Azure. And when you have more than one virtual network in Azure, how do you connect them to allow your traffic flow, right? With that peering. And also like if you want to connect your on-prem to your Azure using Azure VPN services, how you're going to configure that. And also we'll be understanding on the load balance transfer. Yeah, sorry for the disturbance, guys. All right, so we'll be understanding about the virtualization, like how do you extend your on-prem to Azure, just site to site and point to site VPN. So with this wherein we'll be covering the core services like compute, network, storage, and next we'll be looking into the network security group, wherein like how do you control your traffic flow, using the network security group for your network as well as the network card. And in module 8, wherein we'll be covering like general admin tasks, like what will be your day-to-day tasks with respect to your compute, like managing your disk, managing your network, managing your snapshot, and creating your custom images, right? So we'll be covering on the module 8. And also we'll be understanding like what are the ways you can host your service in Azure in a high availability, like your virtual machine on high availability zone and high availability spreads, and what is virtual machine scale set. We'll be understanding on the module 9. Module 10 and 11, wherein we'll be covering on the past server. So wherein we'll be looking into two servers, which is the app and the other one is the SQL server. Okay. And also as part of identity and governance, wherein we'll be covering the Azure Active Directory, like what is Azure AD and how do you create your users groups and how do you manage them, and what is Azure AD premium license, right? So this part where we'll be covering the module. Module 13 wherein we'll be covering like how do you protect your resources, like taking a backup, what are the ways you can restore it. Okay. And 14 and 15 wherein we'll be covering the monitoring and troubleshooting. Yeah. Any any questions, any doubts so far? Shall we proceed? Okay. If at all, if you have any doubt, any questions, please feel free to stop us. Okay. So basically, in this entire training, wherein we'll be covering the AZ-104 certification content, right? So not only that, like, and also whatever we do here in a real time. So like, how do you deploy and manage your workload in your production, right? The same thing wherein we'll be doing. Okay. So these are the things wherein we'll be covering in this entire training. So this will be part of your AZ-104 certification as well. Okay. So now I'll just start with the introduction slide, introduce up the cloud computing. Okay. The first thing we'll try to understand what is cloud computing, right? So before we understand cloud computing, first we'll understand what is computing. So now let's take example. You're hosting a company for which wherein you want to host some service. So to host your services, what all you require, right? You require the computing. Like let's take example, I want to host an e-commerce website for which I require a compute, storage, network, and I'll be hosting it. Okay. So now this resources will be in your premises or you will be managing everything. So when we say cloud computing, and if you want to host the same thing on the cloud, right, you can do it. So whatever the resources we use in on-prem is the same on the backend as well in the cloud. But wherein you will not be managing the entire thing, where the type of cloud services what you're going to offer will be controlling or managing it accordingly, right? So in simple way, where you can say a cloud computing can be defined as delivering as computing power like CPU, RAM, network, storage, or an operating system, a service over a network, right? So all these services where you'll be accessing and managing over the internet, right? So rather than having this infrastructure in your premises. So this is what we can say, a brief about the cloud computing. So now what is the benefit, right? So why people are adapting the cloud services or why they are moving to the cloud, right? So what are the benefits? We'll try to understand. So the major reason of cloud adoption is cost saving, right? So when you can, yeah. So the cost saving is one of the major reasons where people are adapting the cloud service. So yeah, even there are other benefits as well. We'll try to understand. Okay, let's see how you can save the. So let's take example. Like the similar example, like I want to host an e-commerce website for my organization, right? So what all I require? So first thing, I should have the physical location where I can keep my computing resource, right? So the data center, and you want to invest on the compute, like the server, and you want to invest on storage, network, and again the cooling, the power, and the backup, right? So you have to invest a lot of money. At same time, to manage this infrastructure, you need to have your IT workforce as well, right? And again, their facilitation where it will be costing you use, like it's a kind of capex model. Okay. And for some reason, wherein you are not doing good and you want to shut it down for some reason, right? So whatever you have been investing will go under loss. But in a cloud computing, how it works? So whatever the services you want to use, right? So you can start building it. Like I want to run a couple of virtual machine with so and so configuration. And same time, like as and when you require, you want to upgrade it, right? So you want to increase the capacity or decrease the capacity, or whenever you don't require it, can decommission. So what will happen here? Whatever you're going to consume, you'll be paying only for that, right? So that's what we can say. It's a cost saving model. The potential of cost saving is a major reason of cloud services adoption by many organizations. So cloud computing will give you the freedom to use the service as per your requirement and pay only for what you have. So due to this only, the cloud has become more popular where people are adapting and moving to the cloud service. So one benefit is lowering the IT cost and performance, like whatever the capacity you're going to spin up the services, right? So you get that performance, and as and when you require, you can do a like vertical scaling, horizontal scaling. Yes, and again the maintenance, right? So there's also one more thing, like there will be unplanned outages, planned outages. So with the cloud, wherein you can get a 99.95% of uptime SLA, but still you can plan your application to have 99.99% of uptime SLA. Oh. And again, the software updates, right? Like firmware updates, your hypervisor update, your OS update, your application updates. So now, what type of cloud model you're going, right? So the updates are taken care accordingly. You need not worry. Yeah. So whatever the operating system you want, like you want to run a Windows, Linux, yes, host it. And also like people like let's take example, I don't want to move my infrastructure to cloud, but still I want to back up my critical data, right? So the traditional backup, which costs more time consuming, so in simple way where I can like I can consume cloud as a backup solution, and also like as a disaster recovery site. So there's also most of the use case we see where people are using the cloud as their disaster recovery, or building their infrastructure on-prem, and performance and scalability, right? Like whatever the capacity you want, you can scale up on the cloud. Okay. And the storage capacity, whatever the storage amount you're looking for in the cloud, and data safety. In a sense, any data which is moving from your on-prem to cloud will be encrypted. And again, the data which is residing on the cloud will also be encrypted. So you need not to worry about data security. So these are the top benefits where people are looking at adapting cloud service. Any questions, any doubts on this? So if you have any doubt, any questions, you can put on the chat box. And if you have something, you can unmute and you can. Okay. All right. One more thing, like so. Let me move to the next slide. Yeah, so this is what we just discussed, right? So the costing and the management part. So when you host the things on your premises, right? So there are a lot of overhead on you. So which is what we just discussed. So when you come to the cloud, it's pretty straightforward. So whatever you're consuming, you will be paying only for that. Like it works like a complete subscription. Okay. So you might have been heard about the types of cloud computing. Right? So what are the types of cloud computing? So basically there are four that like we will see the three types of cloud computing. That community cloud is not that. Okay. So first thing we'll understand what is private cloud. So the name itself says private. Means whenever you hear the terminology called private cloud, so that means that you are referring to your own data or your IT infrastructure where you are managing from end to end, like hosting the hardware and hosting your the operating system, your application, everything. Okay. And here, whatever the infrastructure you have, so that's only with you, right? So if I want to host something on your infrastructure, no, I can't. Means it's not shared. Means your IT infrastructure which you are owning and you're managing. So that is called as a private cloud. And you might have been heard about like public cloud. Public cloud, the name itself says like it's available for everyone, like Google, Azure, AWS, right? So all these are public cloud. So where anyone, if they want to host their services, they can create their account, they can create the subscription, and they can start spinning up whatever they want. But again, so whatever the infrastructure which I have been hosting for my account, so that is limited to me. In the sense, it's not been, it will not be available for someone else. Like I would say, it's completely a private for you. Okay. So this is called as a public cloud, right? So Azure is also one of the public cloud. So you see a lot of services what you can, like what you'll be consuming, like Azure and Office 365, right? So all these are cloud services of a public domain. And most commonly you will be seeing real time is a hybrid environment. Okay, so hybrid means what? So when you have your infrastructure running in your premise and also like you are hosting some services in the cloud and wherein you want to connect these two guys to work as a one single environment for you, we call it as a hybrid. Means like your on-prem is connected to your Azure, where our infrastructure is working as a one single cloud. That's called as hybrid. But nowadays, right? So when we see like we use multiple cloud services, including our on-prem as well, right? So that is also most of the use case what you see. Like I have my services in Microsoft Azure, like Office 365, or even I have my services in AWS, right? And now all this are connected together and working as one single infrastructure for you. So that is called as multi-cloud. So this also we can see in most of the organizations. So any questions, any doubts on the types of cloud computing? Right. So let's move to the next topic. So here, let's take example. I want to start my journey as a cloud administrator or Azure administrator. Right. So what are the prerequisites? Right. So that we will try to understand. Okay. Before that, like we'll start with the learning part. Okay. So this slide is pretty old. I just need to update it. Okay. So now, if I want to start my journey in Microsoft Azure, right? So what are the learning paths? So you might have been seeing different certification for AZ900, AZ104, AZ204, sorry, AZ204, yeah, AZ400, AZ500, AZ700, right? So what is the actual learning path? So AZ900 is the Azure fundamental. Man, anyone who is going to start, so this is the content where they have to go through, which talks about the complete on Azure fundamental, right? But still, when you want to move further, right? So this is an optional certification. In the sense, it's not a prerequisite that you should be certified in AZ900. Okay. So AZ103 was that code which has been changed long back, so which is now AZ104. Okay. So that is what where we are going to learn over here. So AZ104, which talks about the Azure administration, where any infrastructure management in Azure, right? So all those things wherein we'll be covering over here. Means basically AZ104 is the infrastructure management on the Azure content. Suppose if you are looking on a developer, like I'm a developer and I want to be a cloud developer, right? So in that case, your training content will be AZ204, which talks about the developing solution for Microsoft Azure. Okay. So now, once you're done with Azure Admin or developing solution in Azure, right, or Azure Develop, so what is the next? If at all, if you're looking for a DevOps Azure, right, so Microsoft Azure DevOps, so one of the prerequisites whether it should be known and certified with Azure Admin or it should be known and certified with Azure Develop. So only then you can take this content. So there's a separate content for DevOps. AZ400 is a course content. So once you are good with administrator or with a developer, then you can go with Azure DevOps Engine. Okay. If at all, if you're looking for a next level like architect. Okay. So earlier there was a long path. So now it's not like that. So if you have 104 plus, you can take AZ305. So with this, you can complete Azure Solution Architect certification. Okay. Any questions on this learning path?
Hi, Ravi, this is Vishwajit. Good morning first.
Yeah, hi, good.
Yeah, hi. So, Ravi, I want the solution architect certification, but I means I need before that what means like Azure 900, Azure 104, whatever the details we have to cover, so that we'll go to the solution architect because right now we are working in the cloud environment, only Azure cloud environment, no development, nothing is there. But I need the that type of certificate. Before that, whatever the details we have to go through this so that it will be easy to find out the all information about this certification course.
Got it. So Azure Solution Architect, right? So if you want to learn, if you want to achieve this certification, right? So first thing you should know the Azure fundamental. Okay. And next thing
Okay.
you should be knowing AZ104 Azure Administration. So these are the two
Okay.
prerequisites. But AZ900 is an optional certification. But again, we will be covering that AZ900 as well with this 104. Need not to worry. So here you need to learn 104, get certified with 104. Then you can learn 305. Then you can get certified with 305. With that, you will achieve this badge, Solution Architect, Microsoft Azure.
Okay. So 305 nothing or what like solution architect, right?
That is yeah, that's right. That's also an course content. See, basically 305, which is on a high level, what do you say, theoretical content. Okay. And the core technicals wherein you will be covering on 104.
Okay.
Got it, no?
Okay. So
305 is
Azure,
basically, yeah,
yeah, please go. Yes.
yeah. So if you want to check the 305 content, right? So it's completely a kind of theoretical content. Let's discuss on the like designing, implementing, those kind of stuff will be covered. Okay. So these are the things what will be covered in this 305. So the core thing is 104.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Ravi, if you don't mind, can you please share the whatever the PPT you prepare? Can you share it in here, otherwise in our workshop, so that we will more
Yeah, yeah,
familiar about.
sure, definitely. Uh, don't worry about the content. So that will be shared. So whatever the
Mm-hmm.
PPTs, I'll be driving through uh, any
Okay.
other things, right? So that will be shared. You not to worry.
Okay. Okay. Thanks.
Hi, Hari. Do will we provide the lab documents for 104?
Lab documents. Yeah, we'll give it. Don't worry. So what exactly you're looking like? So how to achieve the step by step?
Yes, step by step with screenshots.
Nobody. So that you need to capture it. But see, the lab works in this way. Let's take example. So we discussed about the compute. Okay. See, the training works in this way. So this particular one. See, the recordings will be you will be getting the recording. Okay. And again, if you take this module as
Is it a lab
example,
document
which one?
which you are showing now? Is it lab document like create a
So
virtual
this is
machine
your
define?
course content. This is
Okay.
your course content. Okay.
Okay.
See, this works in this way. So first thing we will understand about the service theoretically. Okay. So next step will be we will be deploying the services. So you can see this is the Azure portal. So whatever you deal with your day to day, right? So the same portal here also. Even I'll be
Okay.
assisting to create your trial accounts. Okay, where you can do your lab.
Mhm.
Okay, and this is 80 to 90%. It's a lab oriented and scenario based.
Correct.
Okay, so let's take example. We discussed about the virtual machine. So what we're going to do when the theory is done. So
So
I will be
Ravi,
showing. Mhm.
sorry Ravi, if we create trial account, it won't allow all type of services, right?
With related to AZ-104,
Uh-huh.
100% will be working. Means the services,
And
whatever
it
we are going to deploy.
and it will be work for 30 days only, right?
Yeah, those are 30 days.
So
That's fine. So what you can do is
let
you can,
uh
Mhm. Yeah, tell me,
no later how we can do lab like
you
within
can
30
create one
days.
more. You can create one more account,
But
use
see,
a
more
different
accounts
card,
we have to give
different password.
another credit card.
That's fine.
Thus the option is to change to pay as you go.
Yeah, you can go with pay as you go as well. So what will happen now? Wherein once you're done with your lab, it will be good that you can clean up the resource. Okay, what will happen? So in that case, your it will not charge you much. Okay. See, pay as you go. That's fine.
I think
In,
I think it will won't allow the same credit card and same location.
yeah, yeah,
If
yeah.
in case
That's
we will use they will track the IP address also.
no, no, no. It will not. If you're
I
using
tried
your
multiple
card,
times.
no, no,
I
card,
tried.
phone number, email ID, all these should be unique.
See, if
Anyone
you
should not be.
free 1 month free is completed, try. If you try to same location, it won't work. Sometimes it won't work. Why? Because the background they will track the IP address also. I
Okay,
tried.
that's how. See, that is a limitation, no? That we cannot
Yeah.
do anything.
We should be go to pay. I think oddly it will take, I think, 1,000 or 1,500 rupees.
Yeah, see, with pay as you go also, you can play very maturely in the sense. Now, let's
Yes.
take example. I'm practicing this, right? So usually, what I do is I create a resource group, and in 1 hour training, whatever require, I'm going to deploy. So once that is done, I'm going to delete the entire thing. So it will not charge you much. Okay, some services like when you
Correct.
use VPN and all, so that costs you more. So again, like 1.5 hour is enough for us to explore. Okay, so I think so that will not be a challenge. Can be. Okay,
Ravi,
so there was a yeah, please.
uh, yeah, Ravi. So if he need to continue that same account, then I need to pay some amount, whatever billing it was there, right?
Not required now. Like why you want to continue the same? See, you are
See,
trying to put your scenarios, explore the things, and you're going to check that. That's it, right?
yeah, that's right. But instead of creating multiple accounts, so I think if you're using same account at least 6 months for practice purpose, and I think it will be good to avoid the different credit card and address and email address like
Now, if you use a different credit card also, different card and everything, so that will be a new account. Okay. So in that case, you have to go with pay as you go.
okay,
There is
okay.
no other option.
So I means if I create the at least one VM, okay, how much charge it will be paid? Do you have any idea?
See, it runs on an hourly basis, right? So it depends upon what configuration you're running. So let's take example, I'm creating a virtual machine.
Okay,
See, when it comes to training, wherein in the module 4, we'll be understanding about the calculator. So means whatever you're asking now. So how do you get the estimation? Not all the time where we come here and we can check. Right. Okay, that's fine. So let's take example. I'm deploying a virtual machine in US or whichever region. Okay, and then whatever the VM OS you're selecting, Windows or Linux. So even you have option to go with your license or with a Microsoft Azure license. Okay, and what is the configuration you're going for, like one CPU or two CPU, whatever the configuration, right? So you can see at last what is the charge per month. Okay, if you go with two CPUs, 16 GB RAM, so it costs you $159 per month. So it runs on like an hourly basis. So like you run for 1 hour, so there's a charge per hour.
okay.
So that's how it. Or you can easily you can check here. So is the calculator.
Suppose
Okay,
let's
just
in
wait.
for example AWS if you create the student account and it will be valid for 1 year, even though some charges it will be there, but we need to approach to support. It will be means that amount we cannot pay it. But like this here, Azure, do you have that type of provisioning is there?
It's not there, but
Okay,
okay, you can check the costing here. Okay, I want to know the virtual machine you're asking what is the cost if I want to run for 5 hours.
okay,
See, in Azure also there are free services are available. Like you can't expect what you get in Amazon. Like you get some Windows server for some hours or like with some configuration. It's not like okay. See, now I want to run a Windows machine in East US for 10 hours with two CPU, 8 GB RAM. So my
okay.
costing will be for 10 hours. It's $1.88.
Okay, like this in
Very
Linux also do you have same free trial is there like one CPU and two RAM like this type of configuration is there? It
see,
was there.
see, no one will give for free, right?
Okay. Like
Correct.
the Windows operating system,
They
but whatever
see they
Linux.
will give see Windows also you have option. You can borrow the license or you can come with your own license. So in that case, the licensing cost will be different. Okay, that's the only difference
Okay.
between Windows and Linux. But back in the hardware, what you use, that will
Mm-hmm.
be charged, right? The CPU, RAM, the network, whatever. Okay,
Yes.
but again, when you talk about this free trial, yes, that is only for 30 days. And if you want to explore more, either you have to go with pay as you go or you need to create another account. So that is the only available.
Okay. Okay, thanks.
Okay. See, that is a limitation from Microsoft. So nothing we cannot do. Okay. And there was question asked about the lab step-by-step screenshot, right? So step-by-step screenshot will not make sense. And one more thing, wherein you will be getting a recording session. So whatever we discuss, right? So I'll be going through each and every points here, then I'll be deploying the server, right? So anytime you want to uh, revise it, right? So you can go through the recordings and you can fix that. That's how you can leverage. Yeah. Or still, if you need something, whatever I can give, I'll try my best to give. And again, there are some links available in Git and all, so that I can share you for your lab step process. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Ravi, I'm Govinda. Regarding the batch timings, and would it be Monday to Friday?
Yeah. So this runs like uh, the total content is 30 hours, or it will be more than 30 hours, depends upon the lab and other things. Okay. So we will cover on weekdays, 1 hour a day, and we will plan for the time. So based on everyone availability, we will plan it up accordingly.
So Ravi, did you cover apart from 104, 305, whatever you show us?
305 is a completely different content, means in the sense that is a separate train.
Okay. Okay.
Let us focus on 104. That is what I would suggest, and go thoroughly and get certified and
Okay.
have some work around like some hands-on on 104 real time. Then you go for 305. What will happen? It's architect level, right? So wherein you want to understand the infrastructure, only then you will be able to think as the architect.
Okay.
Right. So complete 104, complete 104 certification, have some at least 1 or 2 months of hands-on experience. Then you plan for 304 training and certification. So it will make sense. Otherwise, what will happen? When you do back to back, so it will be an overhead for you. And again, you cannot remember everything. And 1305 you will start understanding when you see the your infrastructure as a whole. Okay.
Ravi, is there is any weekend batches?
Weekend at present not, but again
Okay.
a weekend what will happen, right? See, only 2 days you get it, right? So 2.5 hour, 2.5 hour you have to cover if you want to be in that same place. And sometime
I,
weekends, most of them will be not available.
okay.
Like sometimes you will
Actually,
have some
Ravi,
work. Mm.
yeah, I'm working in Amazon as IT support, so I would like to do the 104 certification as well as course. So
Mm.
actually, I'm working in the day shift. Actually, it's not possible for me. If there is any chance in a weekend, if you have any batch, that would be really helpful for me.
Let's see. Like, see, based on the availability, we can plan it. So again, now I will tell you, like if 10 members are there in a weekend batch, and like due to some work, like 5 of them are not available, and next 5 of them are not available.
Yeah, I do understand.
See, I can run the show, but again, now like wherein the others should be available. So that's why. But we
Yeah,
can
no
plan it.
problem, Ravi.
Let's see,
Yeah, no problem. So,
based on
no
our
problem,
demand.
Ravi.
We
Once, yeah, in weekdays also, if you can finalize the timings accordingly, I can plan myself. Okay.
sure, sure. It will be in the morning hours, so probably everyone will be available on morning hours. So plan it.
Okay, Ravi.
So, any other questions? Any other doubts? Okay. See, as I mentioned now, like This is a real-time portal. So whatever you see in your production is the same here. Most of them know that free, more than free. So here wherein we'll be deploying the services practically, and while deploying, we will go through each and every properties. And there are many other real-time scenarios also we will be covering, like hosting the load balancing solution for your application, where you'll be understanding a holistic, like if you want to deploy your application on a high availability mode, so what is the approach and how we can deploy, right? So likewise, there are many other real-time scenarios where it will be covering. And again, if you want to add some content to this Azure admin, you can let me know. We can plan up that as well. All right. Any questions? Any other doubts? And one more thing, like see, most of them we don't have your contact details to share the upcoming batch and the materials. So please share your phone number, email ID to our Visualpath admin, right? So that they'll be in touch with you for upcoming details. Okay. Any other questions? Any other doubts, guys?
No, Ravi, I think once we start the go through the VMs and then we think then that time we'll have some. I think okay, for example, some agent is not ready. Okay, so that case, what will we need to put this VM or wait? How it will be possible means resolve that.
I get you. Can you come again?
So sometimes what happen is some agent is not ready. Okay, in some cases, agent is not ready. That's why the backup is not happen. Okay, so we are I'm also facing many times some same type of
You're saying
RIT us. Okay, so
Azure
that
VM
case what
agent or a backup agent?
see suppose for example we create the VM already VM is there. Okay, when we open this VM and one notification it pop up that the agent status is not ready. Okay. So that for this we are that's why the backup is not happen because every day we need to require the backup, and if backup is not happen means this is the one type of scenario. So for that case we need to raise the MS or we need to restart the VM, or what is the possibilities there to avoid this type of situation.
Okay. See, that is your completely your OS level troubleshooting. And one more thing is on your backup level troubleshooting. That's fine. So now, first we need to understand like where it is getting fixed. So you are saying two scenarios. One is the agent is not running, due to which the backup is not happening, right? So in this case, you are using the Azure backup service, right? Recovery service for it, right? Or any other third-party backup.
Yes, Azure backup that we are using for that case.
Okay. Whatever it is. Okay, Azure backup or third-party backup, that's fine. So first thing we need to troubleshoot on the OS level. Okay. So first what you will see, the required services are running on the OS. You will check if the required services are not running. You will start the service. If required, you will restart the service based upon analyzing the logs. Okay. So that is one way where you will be troubleshooting on your OS level. If that fixes the issue, then your backup should run. If still that is not fixing your issue, then you check your backup. So why it's not happening? Is it only with this VM or with other VM as well? Right? If something which is where you don't have access to troubleshoot, only then you'll be raising a case with Microsoft. And again, it depends upon what support contract you have. Accordingly, will be responded and resolved. Right. So this is the approach in any troubleshooting where we do. Correct now. If it's an OS issue, yes, even Microsoft will support. I'm not saying no. But again, it depends upon what support contract you are. Okay.
Yes.
But still, if something related to infrastructure, right? So let's take example, some recovery services are not working on the infra level. So where we don't have access to manage that. So that is where the Microsoft by default they will take care of. Correct now. So So here we have this IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. Right? So we have different execution models. So what type of services you are using, right? So accordingly, the things are taken care. Like what vendor is managing, what you are managing, it depends upon, and whatever is part of you. Right? So if you are going and asking Microsoft, so obviously they will not support in the sense it will be chargeable or something. Let's take example. You're using any third-party backup, and if its backup is failing, so do you say that I go and reach Azure support for this? In the sense like first you will check on your server level, only then you'll check on your third party, whichever the backup you're hosting. But again, if something which the Azure infra is not supporting, obviously you'll engage your vendor, Microsoft Azure support, and you'll be troubleshooting. So this is also the most common troubleshooting what we see in our day-to-day activity.
Yes, yes, Ravi. And one more thing, Ravi, just suppose some activity is there, we need to back up the disk. Can you show, just if you don't mind, can you show where we need to take the backup in disk, OS disk and data disk?
You want to take the entire disk backup.
Yes. See, basically from Linux side, OS disk and the data disk both we are taking. But here, how what is the where is the option is there? I did not find out.
See what is the
So can you,
purpose? Like how
so
frequently
purpose.
you want to take this?
See, for example, we need to some activities there like some means what instance upgradation is there. There's some patching activities there. We need to take the backup for this VM. For that case, we need to take the backup from OS disk and data disk. So,
So why you want to
in
take backup? See, that is
yes,
your just-in-time requirement now. So you can take a snapshot, right? Go to your disk. So
yes,
this is the virtual machine disk. So this is my OS disk. Select the disk, and here you can see snapshot. Create a snapshot, which will take an entire copy of your disk.
okay. Can you
And
please
if you want to
click?
revert back, you can revert back.
Yes, yes. Okay,
You can take the
okay,
disk, OS disk, as well as a
mhm,
data disk. If it's a managed disk, for unmanaged
okay.
disk, you cannot take a snapshot. You have to take a snapshot on your what do you say that the blob storage level, blob level
Blast.
on the
Mm,
yeah.
okay, okay, got it,
Then
got it.
see, even your whatever you're asking, you can do with a backup also. No? Like when you do a backup of a VM, so what is the difference there? There's no difference. Even that will take a copy of your disk. If you have data disk attached, you have option to say backup disk as well. It's using the Azure recovery services, whatever you use for your backup solution, right? So there also you can do it. And other ways is like see backup and snapshot. The difference is like snapshot you will take just in time. Like I want to take a copy of this particular moment, you will take it. So backup is also the same. When you want to do a backup every day, weekly, monthly, right? So it will be keep taking scheduled backup. That's the only difference. Other than it's same. Like you are taking a content of your entire day,
Yes,
right?
that is correct. Whatever you're telling, the backup, nothing but you need to take the retention period of 1 month or 15 days or 1 week like this based upon the requirement, right?
That's right. Like you can schedule it. Okay. Other than that, other than that also, like you want to take a copy. So just in time, you can take a snapshot, and whenever you require, you can restore to a disk to a same VM, or you can create a separate VM where you want to isolate and you want to test something. The sense like this VM is running some application, you want to do some changes and you want to see. So you don't want to touch your production. So what you do, you take a snapshot, you deploy a separate VM in an isolated network, and you do your testing over there. So that is also other case where you use snapshot.
Yes, yes, correct. Yeah, please go
Ra-
ahead, please.
Ravi, I'm Govind. I'm sorry to interrupt. I just want to know if you also take a separate course for, is it 140 AVD?
No, buddy.
Okay. Yeah.
I
Thank you.
I
And
take
this
only on
this
Azure Admin and Azure Architect. So that is completely your
oh,
Azure Virtual Desktop.
yes, yes, yeah. uh, we soon be migrating to AVD.
Yeah, that's right.
Thank
A lot of things are moving. Now people are working remote. So
you. Yes.
the work model is completely getting changed. Earlier we used to use the Citrix and we used to
Yes,
actually do
currently I am a Citrix admin. We have the Citrix environment.
yeah.
Can we
So Citrix.
finalize on
So
the batch timing, please?
sure, definitely. Like our coordinator will talk to everyone. So whoever is interested and their availability accordingly we will plan it. So don't worry about the time. So we will plan something.
Okay. Preferably in the morning time, right? IST.
Yeah, morning. That's right.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Ravi.
Okay, all right. So any other questions? Any other doubts? Okay. All right. So just hold on here. So appreciate your time. Have a great weekend. So if at all, if you have any doubt, any questions, you can reach our coordinator.
Yeah.
So I'll cross to that.
Kindly share the course
Mhm.
content.
Yeah, sure, definitely. It will be shared. Everything will be shared. Don't worry about that. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you then.
Thank you, Ravi.